Hey, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you again for joining us right here on the Village Radio Talk Show. Both John and I had a long, busy day. That's why we're eating on screen and we don't normally eat, but you got to see with us, right? Today, John.
Yo,
Oh, before I forget, thank you everyone for watching, sharing, participating on the Village Radio Talk Show.
what?
I am I am Roderick Daly. I am your host, and where we're dedicated to empowering the community to live a healthy, safe, and financially capable life through education, helping each one of us to realize our dreams at any age, at any point, starting from today. So, John,
Yo,
I am excited to be here. One more day above ground. I'm really thanking God for another day. Many people have, predisposed us, and you know, it's a beautiful thing. And thanking God for that. How are you doing?
I'm blessed, man. Blessed, blessed. Can't complain. Thank God for today, man.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. So there's so many things happening. One of the big things that happened is that um, apparently there's a ceasefire, right, in the Middle East, in Gaza. Hostage were released, um, and hostage swap, which I will constantly say, and I'll say it until I'm blue. But that war was absolutely one of the worst wars that I've had in history, that I've read, I've seen, lived through in history. It's actually worse than what happened with Muammar Gaddafi in Libya. Um,
Right,
that this war with Palestine was all about a power struggle in Israel that they created a war
right.
to justify. Netanyahu justified a war, right, to um to keep his position, right, to keep his position in office. And it's heart wrenching to see that so many people died uselessly, uh because somebody was trying to keep themselves in power. There's so many other ways that, I don't believe, John, that people need to use the term casualty of war, especially when the casualty was one-sided. You get what I'm saying? Too many people died.
Right.
It was unnecessary. It was unreal. And Israel will have its atonement for those things and those people who suffered at the hands of Israel and the people of Israel who agreed with what happened in the Gaza Strip. Thoughts?
First of all, you got to commend the president for bringing this together, man. That's one thing we are so polarized that you can't give a person credit for something that is positive. Hopefully, they can continue the ceasefire. The 20 people that are alive, man. That's incredible. There's 28, 28 people that remains and everything else, man. It's just a total travesty of what transpired. But we have to move forward, and this is the first step in moving forward to a hopeful a resolution where we can end this divisiveness. We can end this war between the Hamas and Israel. You know, so we're put it this way: it's positive steps towards hopefully a possible resolution, man.
honestly, my biggest concern, uh, that Trump won't repeat it, right? Congratulations to him for getting, thank you for getting the ceasefire out of the way. But my hope is that, um, right, my hope is that he doesn't use this as a precedence to keep himself in power, right? Because he knows that during wartime, it's if you start a war, um, it's uh, what is it that it keeps the person in power because during the start of a war, it's where you can stop elections, and he really wants to stay in office an extended period of time. And to me, that would be shameful. But again, like you said, now in terms of Ukraine, he's expecting a second summit with President Putin, um, to work to stop the war in Ukraine, where that is also, in my purview, an unnecessary war as well. So a lot of things that are happening around us, violence, China threatening the United States about their missile, the missile number, what is it? Missile number 61 or something like that. It has what, 60 nuclear, 60 nuclear heads and one hydrogen bomb. And China made sure to inform President Trump that it could reach the United States and destroy people in 20 minutes. Very sad to think of situations like those, but we will continue to pray that our world gets safer and lives of innocent people remain intact. How you doing, Dr. Brian? How's everything going?
Good evening. I'm doing great. Thank you. Good evening, everyone.
That is awesome. So, John, what's on your mind? There's so many things to talk about. Let's start. What's on your mind? What's on your mind?
Wait.
Honestly, just listening to some of this debate, man, this is just amazing. Listeners, I'm just telling you, you got to look into this guy Mamdani a lot more than what y'all guys thinking. I can understand he talks a good game, man, but there's something about him that doesn't rub me right, man. What he's talking about. He changes his position. You hate the police. Now I love the police. I don't know, man. I just don't know. Andrew Cuomo, it's the same issue. I just don't know.
Well, you got to pick one. There are only three of them, John, and we have to pick one. It's funny, Dr. Selmer Bartholomew, I keep saying it over and over again. I kind of wish she wasn't a write-in candidate. I wish she was on the ballot. Because she's a damn good candidate. And if I didn't know that I was going to waste my vote by writing her in, I'll second guess myself, on that. But I think I'm going to go with Andrew Cuomo this election. I'm going to go to Andrew Cuomo only because Mamdani's ideologies, I know what I'm getting in Andrew Cuomo, right? I know what I'm getting. He was the governor for 12 years. He was a 3-term governor, 1-term attorney general. And I know what I'm getting with him. With Mamdani, like you said, John, I don't trust him. And I honestly don't think that he can deliver on the things that he has suggested right, that he can do. And I don't see how he's going to pay for them. And I think those are some of the issues that I am having. Hey, New York Cats, what's going on? That's the issue that I'm having, right? How is he going to pay for this? These things that he's talking about. First of all, the New York City budget is very stringent to begin with. How are you going to pay for some of these things, John? How are you going to pay for free bus? Not even lower bus fares, but free buses. I mean, how much money you think taxing the rich going to do? So what do you guys thoughts on that? Let's start with Dr. Brian, who loves politics. Why are you giggling so much? Where are you? Why are you laughing so much? Dr. Brian, oh, you're muted.
No. I'm listening to everything you're saying, but I'm also keeping an eye on the debate too. It's funny to me. I feel like you, John, so torn about what's happening. I'm not motivated about this election at all. And I heard you, Roderick, you have to vote on somebody. So I'm laughing at that. You mentioned something about China and the war. I want to go back to that because just yesterday, speaking to see what level of security or heightenedness of whatever, the United States is level 4, between 3 and 4, and being one of the top not safe places in the world. And I'm like, wow, this is so hearing what you're saying only add fuel to what I heard yesterday.
A lot of countries are pulling out. Like Jamaica is one of the countries that is pulling out of a lot of their relationships with the United States, right? Because they're really not accomplishing much by focusing on their relationship with the United States, because the United States is doing more to gain than Jamaica is gaining in terms of what's happening in Jamaica. And so they're pulling out. They're looking at China. A lot of the Caribbean countries are doing that.
Looking at China?
Yeah, because China, let me tell you, China will give you resources, right? Mm-hmm. However, they're not, but you're gaining from the resources. Like, so what, let's take, for example, Ibrahim Traoré, that's his name, John, from Burkina Faso. His argument is like this. The United States and France and many European countries talk about investment in Africa. However, it's bloodsuckers, right? Africa is one of the poorest capitalist country in the world, with a rich sense of resources in the world, but they're not gaining from it, because so other countries like America, like France, they gain. And so a lot of countries who are dependent on these countries are now moving away from these countries.
So another thing, going to attack different countries around the world and saying, hey, I see that you might be carrying drugs or whatever, it's a problem. Venezuela too, attacking Venezuela left and right, stating that, hey, you have the CIA monitoring them, attacking others, and you're going to put them on ground. That is very, very risky. Very, very risky. I'm wondering if this president is trying to go to war. Is that he changed the name of the Defense Department or whatever is the War Department. Is that the goal?
I mean, that's the same thing I was just bringing up, right?
Hmm.
The same concept, because he really is trying to get a third term.
So he think by starting a war, he's gonna get a third term?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The things to gain by starting a war.
Mm.
And I think that's one of his intentions. He has indicted a few-
Bolton?
Yeah.
Yes, Bolton got arrested today.
Mhm.
He didn't get arrested. He got indicted today.
Mm. Thank you.
Right. He has indicted through the
This is
DOJ.
honestly, this is this is, Trump talked about the way the Biden's administration weaponized the Justice Department. He's doing the same thing, man. So, like I say to I say all to my friends in government, I hope you remember this when y'all guys in a position of power. As we say in the streets, payback is an MFer.
Well, we used the B word, but yeah, same thing. John.
Yeah.
I don't know, honestly. I don't think that the Biden administration went after Trump's people at this level.
What you say, Roderick?
Biden administration did not go after Trump people at this level. Neither did Obama. What they did do, though, is they rewarded Democrats. Certain Democrats got rewarded, right? Maybe top heavy, right? Maybe top heavy. But it definitely they didn't go after Trump. They didn't go after Trump's people at that level to indict them. Right? They removed them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But didn't go after them like that.
No. It's crazy. And here it is, canceling some of the infrastructure that's in place or that's already put. They started working on or whatever to say you cancel that. It's
Right.
not hurting, it's hurting the Northeast. What reason? Payback?
Mhm.
But it's not even payback.
It is payback. It is payback. That's all it is. It's just payback.
It's revenge.
It's payback. That's all it is. Payback.
Payback for what?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Payback. Basically for challenging him, standing up to him. Next is Adam Schiff. Shifty Schiff is next.
Who?
Shifty Schiff. Adam Schiff.
Oh yeah, that he's attacking. Because Bolton wrote the book. This wrote.
But do you know what the charges were for Bolton?
The documents. You're not supposed to have certain documents. Same thing that he was. They looked at him and also Biden about keeping confidential documents within their possession. Yeah.
Good evening, Mr. Chris Townsend.
Hey,
Thanks
Chris,
for joining us.
I
don't know, but Trump had the same thing too. He had the same.
I know
document.
that. Yeah, same thing. I know. But he's in charge now, so don't even think about it.
Was it Mar-a-Lago?
And he was showing it off.
Let me tell you something. You know what? A friend of mine said, we are so enamored with Donald Trump. We're just so enamored with Donald Trump that we are being so blinded by what is actually happening to this country. We're so blinded and we're so consumed with him while his people are just making millions and billions of dollars.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, we keep fighting this man. You know, put it this way, this guy's in control of the federal, he's in control. He gets no pushback from the
At
DOJ,
all.
no pushback from the Supreme Court. Got to be smart. You got to be smart. You got to negotiate when you can negotiate. You have to stand up when you have to stand up. I am just so proud of the Democrats for standing up to him with
This
respect to this shutdown. And I hope
Mhm.
they don't cave in.
Yep.
I
This
hope they
time,
don't cave
I
in.
am happy that they did that. Yep. Fight all the way.
Because Trump, the President Trump only understands strength. That's the only thing he respects.
So I love that because the last couple of times they made a deal, they helped prevent the shutdown several times. So this time, let it go. The
There you
fact
go.
that they're trying to blame everybody else, you're the one firing people. They don't have to get fired. You're the one deciding to, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But hey.
You know, talking about the Supreme Court, you're getting ready what it seems like to veto the Voting Rights Act.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what happens, bro. See what happens.
For
But
some reason, the Supreme Court has no backbone right now. It's a done deal.
that's not my issue as much as
The one thing I can say is Clarence Thomas is a disgrace to people of
forget
color.
about
He's a disgrace.
forget about Clarence Thomas, John, for a minute. But think about the American people.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, just like we were talking about with Trump, who people voted for Trump or said they weren't voting or whatever, they were distasteful of the Democratic Party. There were a bunch of sexists that wasn't going to vote for a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And now they got Trump.
Mm-hmm.
In America, people don't understand that the most important right you have besides the right to life
It's voting.
is the right to vote.
Mm-hmm.
Your vote is so important. Many people have, and you know what the issue is with that, John? And I see it a lot of times in young people.
What's that?
They didn't earn it. They walked into it. So therefore, because they walked into it,
They didn't take it seriously.
they don't understand the value of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that is that.
But no.
No, I agree with you, our village pessimist, right? I believe that's that's correct, but they don't understand. Like, people think that you were just voting for Donald Trump. And John, you and I spoke about this so much. It's the judges. It's now putting in place the opportunity to override the Voting Rights Act, the Civil Rights Act, the right of choice act, the Obama, like these things that you don't understand, that you're putting into place an opportunity to turn back the Voting Rights Act was what, 1964 or somewhere around that?
64, 65. Mm-hmm.
Right. So we're looking at 60 years.
Mm-hmm. In one term.
One term, one election is going to set the United States back. You know what this is, John? 1872. In 1865, you got the Emancipation Proclamation and the reunification of the United States under Abraham Lincoln. A lot of people voted under the Republican, and they got into office. When 1972 came, John, all of these racial acts started happening. And that happened for over close to 100 years. 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
And the remnants of that still exist.
Absolutely.
And the Voting Rights Act and the Civil Rights Act kind of try to level the playing field. And now they're setting it back. Remember what number I just told you? 100 years.
Remember, affirmative action was gone.
Yep.
Women's right gone. So everything that people fought for gone. Like he said, canceled, right?
Election has consequences, my friends. Elections have consequences.
No.
But people don't understand the basic concept of voting, which is the right to have your voice heard.
Yep.
And if you,
that's so true.
Right, if you can't allow that, John, I hate to say it, man, Jim Crow is going to be heavy. KKK are some remnants of it.
They're going to feel they are going to feel emboldened.
Yep. You know, look, the man is weaponizing the DOJ. Bondi, right? I don't know what to tell people. Tish James got invited. Bolton got indicted. Comey. You know, I think somebody was showing the chart, John, of all of the people who went against Trump, who got indicted.
You know what? But let me just, you know what disturbs me is, Tish gets indicted. Everybody rallies around Tish. Whenever it gets indicted, our people of color, we don't unite around our people.
Yeah, and yeah, I saw a couple of things went out, right, that asked to raise money for Tish James. I don't know if you got the text message, John.
No, I didn't get no text message.
Yeah, I got a couple of texts actually.
Because what's happening to Tish, I do not agree with whatsoever, because this is just this is retribution, this is vengeance towards Attorney General James. I don't agree. I call it as I see it for everybody. This is not. You know what? You know how I feel about the Department of Justice. But I always tell the people, there before the grace of God, you may go. And then you understand what we've been talking about. And the Democrats are always the first ones. The minute you get indicted, resign, 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 and resign. Whatever happened to you innocent till proven guilty? Whatever happened to that? We Democrats try to be so self-righteous.
John, you know what's funny? I think the only reason why they did not ask Tish James to resign is because of the charges came from Donald Trump. That is,
we know that, but the charges shouldn't have been brought. They shouldn't have been brought against Tish James in the first place. Same thing. The charges against Eric should not have been brought. If you really look at Eric's case, this is something that we do. It all started because he asked the fire department, whatever it is, to look into this permit for the Turkish embassy. That's how it all started. This was even before he was mayor. This is what we do as elected officials for our constituents. We try to help them out. You know why? Because government is a clusterfuck. And what I mean is so much chaos. People do not do what they have to do. There is so much red tape to get projects done, from the Department of Buildings to all these agencies. These people don't understand government does not run efficiently. However, if you outsource this work to the private sector, it would get done a lot faster. And if it didn't get done, people would get fired. And that's all we ask for. All we ask for government, just work for the people. Cut the red tape. Cut the delays. Help us out. Help us do this maze of government. That's all we ask for. But you know what? You can't call. They give you a number to call, and the number's constantly busy. You got to be holding on for hours. So therefore, you go to your elected official's office and says, hey, I need help. But you know what elected officials are going to be like? I don't know if I can help you, because later on, they might think that this might be some undue influence, because if you come to one of my fundraisers and support me.
Good point.
So Democrats, I beseech you guys, support your members, support your Democrats. Whether they indicted, when they get indicted, you know what? Give them the benefit of the doubt. Work with them, support them, because you don't know what's going on, because you never know. You might be going through that same situation, and you want them to give you grace. So you need to give people grace who are going through those situations.
John, all we have to do, honestly, is point out George Santos a few years back. That's all we have to do. Point that out, how the Republicans stayed with him all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
And we constantly are quitting on our people. Quick to the seat can't even get warm, right? It can't even the seat. What is it? Not warm. The seat can't. The seat can't even get cold, or whatever the expression is, before somebody's jumping in. All right, jumping in. Oh, John is gone. I got to get a seat. Rudy's gone. I got to get a seat. Let's knock Rudy out.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I like, you know, and to me, that is, you know, the problem of America, right? Problem of America.
That everybody want position.
No, it's not. No, the problem.
Everybody want to be in power.
No, what John is talking about, especially when you live in a democratic, they don't see the value and the importance of keeping a strong Democrat in that Democratic seat, right?
No, they all consider it opportunity to put somebody else in.
Right. Like right now, I'm sure, right, that as there's a God, that there's a group of people who are putting the plans together to oust Tish James within the Democratic Party. Right? What do you think, John?
Of course. Of course.
Right?
They're waiting to see what information comes out. You know, they just waiting information. Then they say, oh, she's a liability. She's a liability. We got to get somebody else. We might lose the seat, so let's get somebody else to take over. That's the MO. That's their MO.
100%.
That's the MO.
Let's rally behind her, because we know that this is a political bloodbath, political retribution. They're not saying that at all.
Nope.
And it is sad. Right? Right? Oh, I don't want to be another Bolton. Look how Donald Trump. I don't want to be that person that I get No. We got to stand with our own. People, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the Village Radio Talk Show. Please hit the love button, increase our likes, make sure you share, participate, send out your message, do what you need to do to ensure that we stay on the air and we expand. We appreciate you kindly. Stand in, enjoy the program. Tell us what you think. Give us your thoughts, and just keep it going. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. We appreciate your time in what you're spending on our program. So please do hang out and tell us your thoughts, and send us a text message. Let us know what's up. John,
Roderick.
police officers have decided, or it has come to terms, that they have to let parents know when their kids go on the gang list.
How would they know?
Okay, you tell me. I'm listening to you. I don't have an opinion yet. What do you mean by how would they know?
How would they know that their children are in a gang?
On the gangs list.
What gang list?
Well, I think that's not a fair question.
Why? The only how you would know
I see positive and negative, right? Let's think
Okay.
about this. I see positive and negative. So
Okay.
the question is, what is worse, the positive or the negative? And I'm throwing a question out there to both of you, right? The positive is there's signs that tells you whether or not the kid is in the gang. The
Okay.
colors, the behaviors, the manners, the study, right? That is there. The beads, the tattoos, the marks, whatever, right? On the other side, affiliation doesn't make me a gang member. John could be the world's most famous mafia, and he and I are friends, right? Not because I hang out with John means that I'm part of the mafia. As a matter of fact, I don't even know that he's the leader for mafia. We just hang out. You hear what I'm saying? So I can be on that list. Which one you're weighing against? I'll start with you, Dr. Brian, because you're in school. So which one you value to be of higher power?
See, I look at it this way. How do they get the list, and how? So I'm thinking this way. The only reason why they would have a list is if they got arrested, or one of their gang affiliated friends got arrested and spilled their name. So it's good that they're collecting data, but the data might be late until a crime is committed. Do you understand? They might not be able to retrieve the data until a crime is committed. So that's my take on that.
So you're saying that,
The
if I
police,
understand it clearly, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're saying that they're being placed on the list after.
yes.
But what?
Yes.
So is that a bad thing?
Yes, because they committed a crime already.
So how would you get them on the list before they commit a crime?
That's the question that I asked. How did they get a list? They got a list only because they committed a crime.
So if I'm understanding you clearly, then you're saying that you want them to create a list
I'm not saying
before?
Mm,
Because it sounds like that's what you're saying.
no, there's all types of there's signs that your
Right.
child is affiliated in a gang. There's signs, telltale signs that if you don't communicate with the school, and half of the time your child is not in school, but you thinking they're going to school, that's a telltale sign that hey, something's more is happening outside school grounds. So I'm saying that by the time it gets to the police, it's too late because that means they have or would have been involved in some form of all types of stuff.
So,
So what are we doing before it gets to that point?
so,
There
so,
used
so,
to
What
be
preemptive measures are we? What preemptive measures are we taking, or preemptive investigations are we doing to capture these children before, or these young men and women before they get into the? What are the telltale signs?
so
Uh,
I'm not sure I'm understanding because I feel like you're saying, because we're talking about a list. So
Mhm.
one is to prevent them from getting on the list, and the other is to add them to the list before they commit a crime.
no,
So
I
which one are
think.
you saying?
Well, go ahead,
Okay.
Doc. I don't want to speak to you. Go ahead,
No.
Doc.
So the thing is, I'm not saying for them to be on a list. The fact that they are on a list means that it's not a positive thing. Hey,
Right.
I have this information about your child being a part of a gang. What parent want that information? None.
What parent wants that information?
Like, for example, to hear that, hey, I know that your child's in a gang because, hey, they just got arrested. No parent want a phone call like that from the police department. That's all I'm saying. So by the time they are on a list, that means they would have done something to get on a list to identify them as a gang member.
Well, not necessarily. Sometimes they can be affiliated with people who are saying such and such in the gang. Although they might not have done nothing, but they might be members of a gang. Just say, yeah, these are our members, but they haven't done nothing. They haven't done anything criminal to that point.
Me, I look at it um, like it is labeling, right? It's labeling, putting people on that list because I think about what Donald Trump is doing, right? Donald Trump is removing people from the United States that he put like MS-13, the Trinitarios, the this, the that, all of those different um, gang affiliated individuals. So if my kid goes on it, it opens up opportunities for the federal government to attack.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, you might not even be, because originally the so-called sending out of the country were people who were so-called illegals that committed crimes. You might be an American citizen, you get put on a list, and guess what? Shipped somewhere you don't know no one.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
And that is happening to a series of countries around the world, right?
Yes. So being a part of a list is not a good thing. No parent want their child on a list, but no parent want a child affiliated with a gang because it's not a good turnout. I'm not saying all parents,
Right.
but because some parents do want their children in a gang because that's what they're used to.
And also, they look at the gang as protection, right? They have a false hope with the gang, which is and like you said, Dr. Bryant, whether the kid is in the gang or not is no relevance to them because that is their lifestyle and their expected lifestyle. I don't know in my head as a school teacher, as a former school administrator, that I look at it as positive because your record follows you, right? So no matter what somebody else tells you, your record follows you, and it follows you for life, right? So if you're 15 and they put say you're a gang member, you're a gang member at 17, you're a gang member of 18, and they flip it over. You're still a gang member at any age. So I'm concerned about it following you. So I'm concerned about whether or not it's a good thing. I just feel like it does far more harm than good. You know. So that's my take on it.
2 cents.
Yeah. John, it's so
Well,
engrossing. What's going on in the debate now? Tell us what question.
nah, I'm not even listening to the debate. I really like listening to what your guys are saying. You know, with this the gang, the proliferations of gangs, and you know, how do we notify the parents, or what measures that we can take to prevent them from getting into gangs, or once they get into gangs, how can we notify their parents before they do anything stupid that make a wrong decision that can impact them for the rest of their lives.
Yep.
I think when you're talking about that list, it needs to be, you know, I would love a community list, because you have a community list of people who are able to watch out for these kids, these young men and women who are growing up, and have some sort of input. This is one of the things that we sorely missed in our communities. It's just, you know, when my parents weren't home, I had to worry about my next door neighbors making sure I did the right thing. We don't have that sense of community. No, we talk about it takes a village to raise a child, but we tend to live in our own little huts
Bubble.
and prefer to stay there instead of interacting with the people in our community.
Point well. Well, I don't know. Sometimes I think like I shared this story before years ago, right? And I reiterate because this is the most alarming story I've ever seen in my life
Mhm.
or heard. I didn't see it. I heard about it. Ryan, we're in college. He went over to Bryn Mawr, which is an all-women's college, and they're going through the door. The young lady's walking behind him, and he's going ahead. And he opens the door, and when he opens the door, he sees the young lady. He holds the door for the young lady,
Right.
and the young lady turned around and slapped him
Because he held the door for him?
because he held the door for her. That's exactly what happened. She was a feminist, and at that point, I don't need no man to hold the door for me,
Okay.
right?
Chivalry is dead. Wow.
Well, I like chivalry. I'll
No,
say that.
I'm not
It's
saying you
not
don't,
dead.
right? I think the point of the story, and ladies and gentlemen, just ask you to please hit the like button, the love button, so we know we appreciate that. Just touch on it, click on it, let us know that you appreciate listening to us, right? So I'm just asking, like and subscribe to our show. So I bring that story up to say, go back to John's concept. It really does take a village. What does that village look like now? What is that? People are scared. They're really scared to talk to other people's children. You know?
Because of the culture we're in, the climate we're in. So it's not a positive thing at all. And hopefully we can get back to what we used to be. I think in this situation, looking at how everything is upside down and people are being tiered from one another, I think it kind of forces people to check on others, to somewhat go back to some form of village, somewhat, because people tend to come together when it comes to death or unfortunately, that's when people come together. Birth, you might see people here and there. Holidays, yes. But unfortunately, when people die, that's when you start seeing the village. And they'll say, hey, we'll check up on you and we'll do this and we'll do that. You'll see them for 2 seconds and that's it. But I hope with this situation where a lot of different nationalities, a lot of different countries, a lot of different individuals believe, hey, this won't affect me. None of this is touching me or whatever until it touched them. Then they realize that what you do to one impacts many. And when you stay silent and do nothing, it will eventually come to you. So hopefully more people are taking the stand or starting to shift the way they look at things to become more of a pack and a village.
You
I'm
know,
seeing that.
I share another story with you, John. I have these stories that like
Lord
you're like
Jesus.
you sit there and you go, what the right? I was in Jamaica in 1996 and October 1996, and at the time I was dating this young lady, and I wanted to know a little bit about my history, where I came from, and stuff like that, right? So I took her, and then it so happened that a family friend had died, and so the wake, in if you know anything about Jamaica, I don't know if it's the same thing in Guyana or in Haiti. The night, that what they call the night is just ridiculous. The singing, the dancing, the grave digging, and all that stuff, right? So anyway, I'm standing in the street, and the guy's backing up his car. It's pitch black because there's no lights on the road. And I banged on his
Hood.
his trunk because he was about to hit me. The man put the car in park and came outside and wanted to fight. Not that he almost hit me with the car. And I just, hey, I'm right here. That I hit his car. These are the kind of things that brings up to what I'm saying to you, John. That people don't want to act because they don't know what they're getting. And Dr. Bryant, to your comment, I don't know if I brought up the fact that two of my I had 3 funerals over the weekend. Actually, it was 4, but I only went to 3.
Jesus.
Right? I went to a funeral by mistake. Right? What? Yeah, I went there by mistake. So what happened was that, when you go to a funeral home that has multiple halls, right? So it was El Carib, and El Carib has like one building that's detached from the next building. So when I parked the car, I went into the first building, and I saw this massive funeral. And I was there, and I thought it was my friend's funeral. Because
you said Carib or El Carib?
El Carib. Whichever one, however you pronounce it. The one
because I was like, wait, when did El Carib become a funeral place?
No, it's the one in Utica.
Yeah, I'm about to say that. Right? Carib.
Right? So anyway, the person was young. And it just so happened that when I walked in, a family member said something to me. Right? And I realized he's like, yo, that's my aunt, but it's somebody who I used to grow up on and play ball with. So I got out and I went to the next person's funeral. That was jam-packed too. And here's the funny thing. That young lady did not know that many people in life. But they all came out, like you said, Dr. Bryant, in that level of support. And I knew when that young lady was struggling. And we had many, I think I told you, I said last week I called her on whatever date I'd called her on and didn't get her, right? And it was a tough battle. And you're right, not showing up. You don't know what our villages have become.
Mm-hmm.
You honestly don't know that
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because you sit here sometimes. I mean, I sit here. You know, I got to shout out my two boys, Pepsi and Sampras. You know, I'm not saying other people don't, but they practically live at my house.
Mm-hmm.
They're checking in. Um, they fall asleep on my couch.
Hmm.
They're playing dominoes. I think they know how to work my TV better than I do.
Hmm.
And again, I shout them out to say, yo, big up. I mean, there are a lot of people to big up, but I don't think I've publicly thanked them. But the point is, we don't have that village mentality anymore. We don't have that care anymore. So
I
you're
think we're
scared.
starting to move back towards that. I'm telling you,
You think so?
I'm slowly seeing it. For example, I'm seeing people come together for to fight against injustice. So people are being rallied up against injustice. For example, the reporters who were forced to sign if they're doing a report on the Pentagon or anything at all, it had to be pre-approved by someone from their department. Otherwise, if they didn't sign the paper, they had to pack up and leave. And to see how many reporters decide, I'm not going to do this, done. I hang it up and it's a wrap. So it's interesting because as much as rights and things are being removed, some people are coming back to, hey, we're gonna come together to fight this. Or some of the airports and airlines are not reporting the message that I guess the one in charge of ICE, not ICE, I can't even remember her name, that's always making these
Christino.
Yes, about it's the Democrat fault that the shutdown is happening and the planes are not taking off. So they decided, the airline company, some of the airline company was like, yo, we're not playing this. We're not going to do this. So there's a form of rebellion that's starting to show up. So people are coming together as a community to fight slowly but surely, fight against some injustice. So that's what I'm saying. You'll see more of that united threat is starting to show, because I think enough is enough. Chicago wasn't playing when they said, hey, you gonna come ICE, but we just not gonna feed you. You can't come anywhere, so the way that they're protesting is a little different. So
Yo, but then, but honestly, Chicago, so when you talk about the National Guard, Chicago definitely needs the National Guard there.
And Chicago is out of control. It's one of those cities. It's one of the worst, most violent cities in the world, John.
When I went to Chicago this summer, and we went to the south side, we went to the north side, the different part, it wasn't that bad.
I don't know what the hell you looking at.
I'm serious. It really wasn't.
You must have been in your own world.
I'm serious. No, seriously, it was not that bad.
Chicago is bad, girl.
I don't know. I spent a good couple of days there, and it wasn't bad. And I went to different places.
I stay away from certain areas because.
Listen,
but I ain't gonna lie to you. You haven't heard much about DC lately, with Trump putting all those National Guards in DC.
But DC wasn't a problem before.
DC was a problem, Dr. Bryant. It sure was. Yes, it was. I have a young man that's in who goes to the gym with us. He has a young lady girlfriend in there. He said, John, he went down to the visitor one time. These guys tried to carjack him. He says he hates to go down to DC. If he goes down, when his girl goes out, he says, just stay close or whatever. DC was off the chain. It was off the chain.
When did DC become
DC has been bad.
Crenshaw, John, or Shaw, or whatever. Oh, that place is.
Listen, I used to go to DC all the time. Like
Maybe at the time, but you don't go. You go there, but there's a lot of places in the hood that there was a lot of stuff, carjacking and stuff going on. A lot of people were afraid to DC. Serious. I heard that even from the people that friends that live there. Yeah, DC.
Maryland, yes, I know certain part of Maryland.
No, it ain't Maryland. It's not Maryland. DC.
Baltimore.
You have Baltimore.
Baltimore. Yeah.
Right. But DC, I'm like stunned.
DC is pretty violent. Pretty vile.
And and it's just like anything. They know where it's at. If you know where it's at, send the people in there. You're damn right. Send them in there.
You got to protect your investment. And the investment is your country. Yeah, Chicago's pretty
stuff. It's tough. Chicago.
And I went to the hood to go and get food because their food is so segregated with the food. It's not even funny.
Yeah, I don't know. Chicago.
How was the food, Doc?
It was okay.
Chicago, as far as I can remember, was pretty intense.
Okay. No, the food in the hood was good. The food on the other side.
Food in the hood is always good. I don't know what you're talking about.
And I'm like, this is what they call in the hood. Are you kidding? I was walking 1-2 o'clock in the morning. This is not the hood, please.
Food in the hood is always good.
So, right. Oh my goodness, that is funny.
I'll tell you that. Food in the hood is always good. Always good. So. Whenever I go anywhere, I'm going to the hood to get some food. That's where I'm going, straight up. All right. I have no shame.
No, seriously, because I was complaining about the food in Chicago because it's horrible. But I said, okay. They was like, yeah, if you want some soul food, go in the hood. That's what I did.
If you want, you know what it is? Everywhere I've traveled to.
Pizza is terrible. Whoever said Chicago has the best pizza, they lied. It is garbage. I'm going to say it again.
Don't say that.
It's garbage.
I don't say that. Chicago pizza is not garbage. What I would say, I prefer New York pizza. That's what I would say, right?
Yes.
That's what I would say. But you got to remember, it's like any food, right? Like you're Haitian. Mm-hmm. I'm Jamaican. John is Guyanese. Mm-hmm. John gets some pepper pot soup. Pepper pot.
Horrible.
Right? Right, John?
It's not pepper pot soup, boy. We don't call it pepper pot soup.
No, but it's pepper pot. Whatever.
Pepper pot.
Right? You get some pepper pot from a Guyanese spot. John is like, yo, this is incredible.
Jesus.
Right? And you're sitting there going, what is this? And then I get some curry chicken from a good Jamaican spot versus a Haitian spot or a Guyanese spot. I'm like, I don't even know what this is. You make it, and you with your griot or your
legume.
No.
What, soup jumeau?
No, the black rice.
Oh, John.
Right, John. Right, you're sitting there going like, how do you not like this? This is a cultural difference. People.
No, not everybody make it. No. Not everybody cook equally.
We know that within your own culture, but I'm saying, like, if it's slamming for you, you are sitting there going like somebody said, I'm not trying that. I don't want that. I'm not eating that. And you're sitting there going, yo, what's wrong with you? This tastes good. Oh, I'm not eating that. And some people would label it. It's Haitian food, I'm not eating it. It's Jamaican food, I'm not eating it. It's Guyanese food, I'm not eating it. I just label the food without even tasting it. It's the same thing with the pizza. Chicago pizza.
I tried it. I had to send it back twice.
You prefer New York pizza.
Which you had deep dish?
Yes. And it was not good.
I don't know, John.
I like deep dish. Let me tell you something. I like deep dish. But everything about Chicago, their pizza, first of all, Chicago's fake.
Yeah, John, it sounds like she hates Chicago. Is that
word?
I'm
Huh?
serious. It's
Is that
fake.
what I'm hearing, John?
There's no beach in Chicago. They took sand from Bahamas to take it to Chicago to kind of make it
Wow.
imitate. Please,
You're going in, girl.
it is not. Everything about it is fake. Fake, fake, fake.
Wow. John, imagine what she's saying about Ocho Rios
Bahamas
in
is the
Jamaica.
same thing. Bahamas is fake too. Let me tell you something. You go to the stores in Bahamas, a lot of their things, a lot of the stores in Bahamas
Right.
are imitation that you find on Canal Street. They trying to sell. I'm like, are you kidding me? Yes, they fake. So anybody go to the Bahamas to go and purchase things, you're getting robbed. You're getting robbed.
Yo, Buck, you're 400. Yo, she's firing mad shots at Chi-Town. Woo! Woohoo! Woohoo! Yo, before we close, I know we're not there yet, but wanna shout out to a young man who lost his life this week.
No.
D'Angelo.
Oh,
D'Angelo.
yes.
I didn't know him and Angie Stone were a couple. I didn't know. Back in the day, I did not know.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
That was before they both became popular. But yeah, they had a child before
Both losing both parents in the same year. Wow.
Who passed in the same year? Angie Stone?
Yeah. She got killed.
But 7 months ago.
Oh,
in March.
She got killed in that car accident or something like that. Right. He had the same ailment that I have. I think
what are you saying? I'm a hard customer to please.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
When it comes to food, yes, I am. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Oh, yes, she is, y'all. Definitely. She got a critique about everything that she eats. Everything.
When it comes to food, yes.
It's not just food. It's not just food.
What else am I critiquing? Are you gonna say men? Is that what you're gonna say?
I didn't say it. You did, but
no. But I know you, Roger. That's
John. Did you hear me say it? John? For the first time,
I knew that's where you were.
You were making you left the door open so someone can speculate what you were saying.
Right. I didn't say nothing. I just simply said,
you, John.
It
ain't is food. Typically what he would say.
Right. It ain't just food, but that's one of them. Man is another. Yeah, he was 51 years old, John.
51.
Great singer, a great soul singer,
yeah,
great musician.
I love this music. I remember listening to it while I was in college, and
which I was surprised about. I was surprised about what they said his net worth was. I thought he'd be worth a lot more money than that.
Remember when some of these people started, they were being taken advantage of.
Yeah, manipulated, definitely.
Yeah. So she was fighting to get her money back.
Wow.
And she passed away. So a lot of these people, when you're young, 18, 19, they offer you a deal. You're excited. Hey, you thinking you're making all this money. No, until you find out that, hey, that
you owe all this money.
Yes. So it's unfortunate. But that is education 101 that a lot of young artists are not privy to until after they get into the industry. And unfortunately, by that time, everybody who's a family member or a friend, you're done. The record label, the publishing company, everything is gone.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to see what I don't. They didn't say how much his net worth is.
They said $1 million.
$1 million. Wow.
And that's why a lot of these artists, similar to Broadway actors, you might think they're making a lot, but they're not, unfortunately. So, look out for our musicians and our entertainers. Better yet, entertainers.
One of the things, though, is sometimes it's not that they're not making any money, but it's also how they spend their money.
Yeah, if you have a good accountant.
But
it's also what deal you made.
Right. Yeah. That's part of it.
Publishing, right? If you know,
So like I give you and again, rest in peace, D'Angelo. May God, take your soul and keep it and keep, your strength and keep singing in heaven. Just make a few people happy and make your harps work and your music and all the beautiful things that you had done in life. You know,
and from pancreatic cancer, which
yes,
is
that's what I'm saying. He has the same cancer I have.
had
Huh?
right?
Yeah, he had. No, have. Oh, you mean for me? Had.
Yeah.
Can't say had. I didn't get good news from the doctor this week, so I'm gonna
Oh
leave it
Lord
at.
Jesus, we
Yeah,
talking life, my friend, life.
yeah. He didn't get good news. I didn't want to bring that up, but um, my last chemo session didn't work, so we just gonna pray. I'm gonna do another one. I just got a call by the doctor that we're gonna try a uh,
Medication.
new chemo cycle
Mm-hmm.
to see how that's gonna work. I start that next week. So
you're gonna be online in the hospital?
yeah, it's outpatient dosage.
Okay.
Well, Roger, all jokes aside, man, I gotta
Yeah.
say, man, you're a true testament of the
Power of God.
power
Healing.
of God, the will of God,
Mm-hmm.
and most of all, the Spirit of God.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
How your unwavering support is remarkable.
Uh,
But you're still a piece of shit. But you know what I'm saying. But
I agree with everything you just said. I feel blessed and highly favored. Um,
sorry, Mom. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to say that, Mom. I apologize.
I'm going to tell my mother you call her son a piece of shit. I'm going to make sure she knows.
Oh God.
And,
Lord Jesus.
but you know what I want to do, John, and I was going to talk to you about this. I have said this openly on the air, and guys, please just hit the like button on our program, so we'll continue it. It's a free talk. You call in, you text in, let your voice be heard on any topic. I know there are a couple more topics that we have to discuss. Probably won't have time for it because we only have about like 5 minutes left. But Dr. Bryant,
Yeah.
I want you to convince your friend Linda
Okay.
to do something for me.
What's that?
I want to start a circle,
Okay.
and think I need a social worker. It doesn't have financial gains.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we might look into people who have Medicaid who will be able to do it, but it's going to be free. All right. So there's no copay, there's no nothing.
Okay.
But maybe we'll look into it later if it's feasible for Medicaid to pay for it or whatever the case is when we start. But I'm going to start it online. But I would like Linda to help me. And this organization that I'm going to start called Surviving Cancer.
Mm.
I don't want to call it Cancer Survivor. I want to call it Surviving Cancer. And here's why.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of the notification I got earlier this week or last week, whenever I went to doctor. I think it was maybe Monday or Tuesday this week or the end of last week. No, it was Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
I did a PET scan last week. And when I came back from a PET scan, the doctor had to go over the PET scan and he says, Mr. Daly, the chemo didn't work and you have these more lesions on your liver. And he expressed that, we're still going to fight. He called me tonight right before the show. And I think that kept me a little bit late for the show to say, hey, we're going to do this thing called carboplatin. to
Mhm.
the brother or the cousin of cisplatin, because cisplatin damages your kidney, and we don't want to put you on dialysis, so we're going to do um, carboplatin.
Mhm.
That's why I want to call it surviving cancer.
Amen.
Because at any day, any point, if you ever had cancer, and God forbid, I don't want none of y'all to have it, when you walk into that doctor's office, you have no idea what that message is going to be.
Mhm.
When you feel sick, you stress, is that cancer coming back?
Mhm.
So every moment of your life, no matter how much praying you do, no
Mhm.
matter how much belief you have, every moment you wake up and you think, am I going to have a good day? Am I going to get bad news? So I want to start it, and it's called Surviving Cancer
Mhm.
for individuals. So ask Linda.
Okay.
It's volunteer, and like I said, if we can establish into a 501c3 where we could get donation to keep it going to whatever, give
One
her,
day at a time, baby. One day at a time, sweet Jesus.
but is one event at a time. Thank you,
That's
John,
it.
for that.
One event, 1 second,
Right.
1 minute, 1 hour, one day at a time, sweet Jesus.
You gonna sing?
That is all
Oh
I'm
Lord. Here
asking
we go.
from you.
All right. On
Yeah.
that tip,
Don't be
our
making fun of I was
listeners,
singing. Yeah,
our
thank you, Star
listeners,
Girl. I
we
appreciate
thank
that.
you.
I appreciate.
Yes,
I appreciate.
we love
How's the move?
that.
Wait. Did you move yet, Star Girl? How's that going? All right, let us know. So
I just want to shout out to my niece. Celebrated her 40th birthday yesterday. Big up. And my niece Christy next week. Big up.
And my
absolutely
niece, Araya, who turned 8, fresh as ever. That's
nice.
right.
All right, my cousin Marville, he turns whatever he turns next Wednesday. So happy birthday to him. I know there are a couple people. Audrey, your birthday's coming up. Happy birthday to you. Audrey is one of my longest friends. She lives in Georgia there. So I'm really, really excited. Libra love, awesome. So happy birthday to all my Libra friends and family. You guys are awesome. All right.
So we love
Um,
you, Roderick. You got this. You
yes, thank
know,
you.
that's it.
I'm gonna keep fighting. I'm gonna keep fighting
Yeah,
every,
we gotta keep fighting because we gotta keep fighting with you.
yeah,
So
every,
you got no choice.
Hell freaking day. Every damn week fighting with your black ass.
that
Oh,
you guys make me so. Mama, you hear what John is saying, Mama? Mama, you heard John, Mama? He ain't nice. We got to talk to him, Mama. Right? I appreciate it all. Right? I appreciate it all, and we just got to
So
keep.
on that note, man, we appreciate you, Roderick, Dr.
yeah,
Bryant,
Yeah.
Sophie, my
Andre.
man Andre,
Yep.
our
And I,
financial advisor. We appreciate you
yeah,
all the work that y'all been doing.
Yeah.
So let's keep it up, villagers.
Next week. Chris is on next week. So yeah.
yes.
So
See you next week. Enjoy it. Have
enjoy.
a great weekend.
Ladies and gentlemen, please and thank you so much for watching, participating on the Village Radio Talk Show, where it is a blessing to have you as one of our villagers. Thank you for all those people who are supporting, who have signed up, subscribed, share all of the good stuff. I appreciate you. We appreciate you. Thank you to all of the members of this unit for their work on a regular basis. God continue to bless us as we bring word, bring events, bring conversation to the public.
As
Please don't.
Tiny Tim would say, God bless us, everyone.
Yep. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you. Oh, those of you who live in Brooklyn,
What?
on Saturday, we have a big event sponsored by myself, by the community board, by our local elected official.
What you doing?
We have 62 agencies coming out. So if you have an issue, come find an agency, come find an organization that will help you. We have music, we have dance. We just have a major celebration that's on Utica Avenue between Church and Linden.
What time?
From 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Do come out. East Flatbush Village, Elite Learners Project, Echo, God Squad, Department of Building, Department of the Fire Department, the NY.
See you there, my brethren. See you there.
Right? Come on out. Get a question answers. God bless you.
Bless.
Your weekend, and I see you Saturday. Make sure you give us a shout out. Send a friend, invite a friend, make a friend join. Take care. See you next week.
Good night.
Good night. Okay, got you. No problem. So looking forward. Let me know.